23 after the hour, turning to obituaries, brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations. It's Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg, 256-245-4361. Funeral service for Kathy Renee Lovett Culver, age 53, of Sylacauga, is today at 1 p.m. from Curtis and Son North. Visitation from 11 until 1, also at the North Chapel. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel directing. Funeral service for Johnny J.J. Mays, age 46, of Sylacauga, is today at 1 o'clock from the Chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home, with the Reverend Freddie Edwards officiating. Mr. Mays died September 13th at his residence. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Jackie Mickey Dye Jr., age 68, is 11 o'clock this morning at Mount Zion Baptist Church in Stockdale, Alabama, with the Reverend Edward Bolton officiating. Interment in the Lane Chapel Cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary directing. Funeral service for Mr. Jimmy Sanford, age 78, of Alexander City, is today at 11 o'clock from the Chapel of Radley Funeral Home. Reverend Gary Thomas officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. Mr. Sanford died September 13th at Russell Medical Center. Radley Funeral Home directing. Graveside service for Rex Stewart, age 90, of Sylacauga, is today at 2 o'clock from Evergreen Cemetery, with the Reverend Russell Gooden officiating. Mr. Stewart died September 14th at Colonel Robert L. Howard State Veterans Home in Pell City. Visitation today noon until 2 o'clock at the funeral home. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Timaeus Orlando Evans Hughley, age 44, is 11 o'clock Saturday at Terry's Mortuary Chapel. Interment in the Oak Hill Cemetery. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary directing. Funeral service for Joe Howard Hudgens, age 73, of Talladega, Sunday at noon from Talladega Funeral Home, with Brother Otis Graves along with Brother Tim Dial officiating. Burial in the Midway Memory Gardens. The family receiving friends Saturday night 5 until 8 at the funeral home. Mr. Hudgens died Thursday morning at his residence, Talladega Funeral Home directing. Miss Sarah S. Davidson, age 16, died September 14th in Childersburg Community Funeral Home, announcing the arrangements. Billy J. Bush, age 66, died September 14th at his residence, Community Funeral Home, announcing. And Mr. Ray Banks, age 50, died September 15th at his residence in Childersburg, Community Funeral Home, will announce the arrangements. Funeral service for Geraldine Swain Baldwin, age 51, is 3 o'clock Saturday at Terry's Mortuary Chapel, with the Reverend Lavorde Swain officiating. Interment in the Lawler Cemetery. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary directing that service. Miss Jackie Dogan, age 23, died September 14th in Childersburg Community Funeral Home, announcing. Mr. DeQuarius L. Shepard, age 16, died September 14th in Childersburg Community Funeral Home, announcing. Funeral service for Mrs. Annie L. Swain, age 86, will be Saturday, September 17th at New Maryland Baptist Church in Alpine, beginning at 1 p.m. Burial in the New Maryland Baptist Church Cemetery. Visitation today, noon until 8 at the funeral home. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Mrs. Swain died September 12th at her residence, Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga, directing. And Mr. John Stone of Sylacauga died at his residence on September the 16th. Funeral arrangements are incomplete. They'll be announced by Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga. Obituaries brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. That's Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.